Welcome to the real world.
What's good, everyone? This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need, representing that new media nation united. Join the movement. And today we're going to talk about the legend Carmelo Anthony and LaMelo Ball, both nicknamed Melo, putting on a show and sending a message to old media that everything is good, that it doesn't matter who has the nickname. I've been telling you this stuff for the longest. Nobody listened. And I'm going to remind you all again. Carmelo Anthony never cared about somebody else having a nickname, the same nickname as him. Because he knows he's a legend in his own right. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer when he retires. He has been successful his whole life. In high school at Oak Hill, dominant. Syracuse, some will say the best one-and-done player of all time in college. If you look at Carmelo's numbers and what he has won as a one-and-done prospect, it's freaking legendary. First year at Syracuse, they won a championship. We had other one-and-dones like Kevin Durant and many others, Derrick Rose. They have never won a championship their first year as a one-and-done. Anthony Davis has, and you see what he's doing in the NBA. Now, Carmelo, even though he has not won a championship in the NBA, has been a winner if you look at his win percentages. But Shines won't bring that up. Look what he did in Denver. Early years in New York before they imploded, of course, with the organization. And that's not even a Carmelo problem. That's just a James Dolan problem. But that's another topic for a different day. So I'm going to show you the love that Carmelo showed to LaMelo Ball.
Here is LaMelo once again selling that pump fake. Here is Melo to LaMelo prior to the game, and just the amount of respect that. They take the first game of the season series against the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, as he trades jerseys with Melo. Greatness will be in his future. 30 points. Impressive rookie as he continues to state his.
Love what I saw. This is what the game of basketball is all about. It's a brotherhood. It's not buying into old media narratives and talking points from Shines. This is what I like to see. And for the Portland Trailblazer media, shame on you. The whole game they were shucking and jiving, talking about, that's the real Melo. Every time Carmelo scored or did anything, there's only one Melo. They kept saying it. And on that clip I showed you, they said, here's Melo showing love to LaMelo. Instead of just saying, here's Carmelo showing love to LaMelo, or both Melo showing love to each other, they made sure to point out that Carmelo's the only one named Melo. It's the dumbest thing I ever heard. When Melo Trimble was in the NBA as a journeyman for a little bit and he played in Maryland, when he played, nobody complained about it. But since LaMelo Ball is balling out, no pun intended, putting up stats, they want to talk ish on the side. But I'm not surprised. Here's what these buffoons said about LaMelo the whole time.
A more like-sized matchup. Melo with the hezzy and throwing it down. There's only one Melo in the NBA. Everybody else, you got to say the full name. But many people, understandably so, call LaMelo Ball Melo. So please help me out. How do you sort this out with the nickname?
Well, if you have to, he will be on a Melo name basis as well, worldwide.
Melo, pump fake, draws another foul. Count them.
What you just heard was very divisive and unnecessary. For the two stooges, the commentators, for the announcers, whatever you call them, on the Blazers, to be so disrespectful to LaMelo Ball, a kid that does nothing wrong to anybody. He just wants to play basketball. He's very respected and liked by his teammates. And for them to come on there and say nobody else can be Melo because there's only one Melo, is toxic. Very toxic. And shout out to Carmelo Anthony for disputing all irrational talking points from old media. Because Carmelo is a real one. He's been whiteballed and screwed over many times. Everybody knew he was good enough to play in the NBA, but politics came into play, or what I would say, politricks. This is the truth time of LaMelo Ball. We're exposing all lies in this whole year. And speaking of LaMelo Ball, look at what his teammate Terry Rozier said about him. This is from Rod Boone. So Terry Rozier said, and I quote, "We've got a star in the making. I would just tell people just to enjoy it because you aren't going to really see too many people like him." You see that? You aren't going to see too many people like him. And what the NBA is going to do is try to have copycat versions of LaMelo Ball, and it's not going to be the real thing. He also says, a special talent, a special person. Just enjoy it because you aren't going to see too many guys like this ever. Now, Terry Rozier, no matter what you think about Terry Rozier, he's one of the few players on this team that spoke out many times. He spoke out about that crappy zone defense they played, the AKA James Borrego auto zone defense. He's spoken out about the ball movement has to be consistent, which he is right about. So he's not like Devontae Graham. Devontae Graham has never spoken out on things that are wrong about this team because Devontae Graham is what I call a comfortable brother. Meaning he doesn't want to rattle the fence when he has it good. He has it good with Coach James Borrego, who's giving him all the minutes he needs, or should I say doesn't need, really. But I'm not hard on Devontae Graham. People think I'm very tough on him and my critiques of him. Really, it's just James Borrego enabling all of it. And as an athlete, when you have your coach always telling you that you're this and that all the time, you start to believe it. And I truly believe that Devontae Graham thought this was his team. But what you see in this quote, and Terry Rozier is comfortable because he's seen the talent himself, that this is LaMelo's team. Yeah, I said it. He's the franchise of the team. And Terry Rozier is being smart because he could stay with Charlotte by keeping the chemistry with LaMelo great. Where the organizations would be like, hey, we can't trade Terry Rozier. They got good on-court chemistry. They play well together. Now, there's a good chance Terry could be traded because, let's be honest. The Hornets are cheap. The Hornets need a big man in the worst way, and they can't even. It's not like they can't do it, but they won't even make a move to do that. But this is what LaMelo has to deal with. When they talk about LaMelo's stats, they talk about his whole season. But me, at DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, New Media Nation United, I'm more realistic. I'll only bring up his starter minutes, points, stats. I never bring up when he came off the bench because I don't think it's fair. I don't do it for anybody else. But I saw people on YouTube, and this is not a LaMelo versus Lonzo. I'm just telling y'all this. But they were comparing stats, and they did what I thought they were going to do. They were going to use LaMelo's full season stats, not when he's a starter. And they were saying, oh, it's the same as Lonzo. Lonzo will probably average more if he was playing point guard. Yeah, Lonzo would average more points if he had more touches, of course. But to act like LaMelo wouldn't average more is just ludicrous. LaMelo could average 30 points per game. And I'm telling you, this is the film I'm watching. LaMelo could average 30 points per game if the Hornets didn't have too many ball handlers or players feeding on this positionless basketball crap that James Borrego's doing. You'll see small forwards handling the ball, power forwards handling the ball in forecourt. Gordon Hayward want to handle the ball all the time. Terry Rozier, you know he going to get his handles. And then we didn't even bring up Devontae Graham. Coach JB is trying to ruin this team. I'm telling you, when Devontae Graham comes back, he's going to give Devontae Graham all the shots around, known the man, make plays for Devontae, because he barely makes plays for LaMelo Ball. So be aware of that. I'm warning y'all now. Today, one of my subs sent me a clip of Undisputed. They finally talked about LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball had to literally force old media to talk about him with his excellent play. And I'm going to play the audio clip and give my opinion on it.
Average at least 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in a calendar month as a teenager. LaMelo has already been living up to the hype from his father that he would be better, than his older brother, Lonzo, who has a little over 3 years of experience under his belt. And, he's having the best season of his career right now. So, Shannon, is LaMelo already better than Lonzo?
I don't know if he's better, but I would take him because of his upside, Skip. He can score the ball a lot better than his other brother can, and he makes it look easy. The way his ability to drive and finish at the rim, his three-point shooting, although Lonzo has gotten vastly better at shooting the three, LaMelo looks like a better shooter, a pure shooter of the two brothers. He looks like he's a little taller, Skip, and although he doesn't guard as well, he plays passing lanes. His anticipation is a lot better than Lonzo. So for me, if you said, okay, Shannon, you get one brother right now, I would take Melo. I would take Melo right now because I believe of his upside. Skip, since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, he's averaging 20 points a game. So he's going to be a starter for the very foreseeable future. And would I be surprised to see him as a 25, 7-7 guy? I would not. He's better earlier than I think people thought he would be. Because Skip, you heard he was projected because have easily been the number one pick. And people are like, yeah, over time. But he's better much sooner than people thought he would be. I would take him right now over Lonzo, and I believe he will be the better of the two players.
I mean, you said 25, 7-7. Shannon, I'm thinking more like 25, 10-10. I mean, this kid
He might could, Skip.
This kid is gifted beyond gifted. And I got to credit our man, LeVar Ball. He sat right here next to me 3 years ago. And after we finished the show, we were just BSing about whatever. And we started talking about LaMelo, who was then very young, obviously. and he just flat out said, my youngest will be the best. And at that point, I thought Lonzo was going to be really good, and he's turning into a really good player. But he ain't this kid. Shannon, since Charlotte had to elevate LaMelo into the starting lineup, look at these numbers. He's played 14 games as a starter in Charlotte. He's 21, 6, and 7, and he's 19 years old. He's doing it effortlessly with a smile on his face, like he's almost toying with the game. It's like, you guys want me to play? If you want me to play, I'll show you. I can do this. And look what he's doing. He's making 43% of his threes since he became a starter and 86% of his free throws. He's a little better shooter than Alonzo, who has completely fixed his shot. Lonzo is now taking and making threes with authority and conviction, fearlessly. And I didn't think he'd ever be able to get away from this and bring it back to here where he could trust it. Now he trusts it because he's, as you know, he's all the way up to 40% from three for the year. Well, that'll work. He's turned into a real live grown-up NBA player. I just like the way he looks. His body's matured. His face is matured. He just looks like a professional basketball player. And I love his upside and his future. But his little brother, and by the way, I think Lonzo is being motivated by his little brother's success. I think they're starting to compete with each other long distance. And you know how that would feel with your big brother competing, you competing against him. But my God.
I agree with you. I think Lonzo is a better defender, but I don't believe Lonzo, even at his best, will have the offensive upside as this kid has.
No, he won't.
And in the NBA, it's still an offensive league. They've made it. They've opened the court up. They've done away with the hand checking, the hard fouls, and so they want to see people put the ball in the basket. And I don't know if Lonzo can put the ball in the basket like his baby brother can.
No.
So with that being said, I'm going to take Melo upside. At 19, like you said, Skip, he's 19.
19. And Shannon, I thought Lonzo's strongest attribute in his rookie year was his ability to shut you down on defense because he's about 6'6", he's long, and he's savvy and nasty on defense. But this year under Stan Van, I don't know, it's an afterthought. It's like he's quitting on defense. And meanwhile, his little brother, who I thought was playing little to no defense early on, I looked down last night. He's fourth in the NBA in deflections, to your point about just having that gift of seeing it and disrupting it before you throw it, that sort of Ed Reed gift, if you will.
Well, it took Undisputed long enough to give LaMelo some well-deserved credit. About damn time. Here's my assessment on that segment. Shannon Sharpe. What he did was very slick. And I don't know if you all noticed, but he was giving half-ass compliments to LaMelo Ball. So let me get this straight. LaMelo Ball, as a starter, is averaging 26 and 6. Hasn't been done as a rookie since Luka and LeBron. And speaking of Luka did that while having a more usage rate. If you look at Luka's play, Luka Doncic has the greenest light outside of James Harden. That is a fact. So you got LaMelo Ball doing something that hasn't been done since LeBron and Luka, and you can't even say he's the next man up or the future face of the league because you said it with Luka. Let me guess, you won't say it because he's LeVar Ball's son. And if you watch the segment close enough, when Skip Bayless was talking, for some reason, Shannon Sharpe switched his tone once Skip said that credit to LeVar Ball. So how in the hell are you going to have Skip Bayless give more compliments to LaMelo Ball and his family than a brother on the show, which is Shannon Sharpe? I told y'all they were going to be doing this. I knew it. They never love to give the Ball family any credit, especially their father. I get it. LeVar's not perfect. But shit, none of us are. It doesn't matter if he's perfect or not. He has 2 sons in the NBA. He had another son that was on the practice squad at one point, which is Jello. A lot of dads cannot even say they did that. And the only thing Skip was wrong, the only thing he was wrong about was Lonzo's defense. Let's cut the crap now. Lonzo's a top defender in the NBA. The reason why the team's defense is not doing well is because he has to help out Zion and BI on defense. He has to play so much help defense, it's crazy. With the Lakers, when Lonzo was with the Lakers, he was able to play straight up man to man and didn't have to worry about helping out everybody and their mama. But back to LaMelo. No matter what old media says, ESPN, First Take, Undisputed, they can't take away how great this kid is. He's truly special. And sometimes it seems like Melo has to play against a lot of factors. Not only the opponent he's playing against, but the organization with their politicking methods and Coach JB playing favorites. He has to deal with this. So for those who say LaMelo had it easy and he never had a tough road as such and such, cut the crap. LaMelo Ball is doing well because he's a dog and he wants to be great. He wants to be one of the greatest. And he probably won't even say one of the greatest. If you ask LaMelo personally, he probably would say he wants to be the greatest to play. And like my brother Rev pointed out last night, LaMelo Ball is the embodiment of what LeVar stood for. The competition, the energy you have to fight on a competition. And I know LeVar Ball is proud of his sons, but he's especially proud of LaMelo for playing with that fire. He didn't care last night if he was going against Damian Lillard or not. He was going to bring it to him. And if it wasn't for Carmelo Anthony, the Portland Trail Blazers would have lost that game. No one's talking about how LaMelo outperformed Dame Dollar. A Dame Dollar who I respect, by the way. But just keeping it real with y'all, man. All praise to the Most High. Peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you for those who support New Media Nation United. It's needed, man. We are the new breed. We are the new best thing around. Shout out to Rev, Coach Joe, J&J Video, DKM, and many others. Peace.
Welcome to the real world.